I haven't seen very often a standing ovation for a team on a 3-2 win early in the season, but you got one tonight.
Yeah, I think if you know the kids, you know how much they care and how hard they're working. There's nights that we have to learn on the job. You know, we've got 6 defensemen that are in their first year in Major Junior. We've got 2 defensemen that have 1 year under their belt. One is 17 years old and one is 18 years old, and inexperience shows at times. And you know, we've got goaltender Nick Riopelle. It's his first year as a starter. Charlie Levine played 12 games in Major Junior in Kitchener last year, so it's not a veteran team. We've got a lot of forwards that have 1 year under their belt, but nobody who's been here 4 years and nobody who's played Major Junior for 5 years like some other teams do, and it shows. You know, we loaded up to go for the Cup. We traded a lot of future to ensure the city of Moncton, the Wildcats, would be strong. We traded some future for some present, and this is the future. It's a cycle of junior hockey, and you analyze it and see what it is, and you get on with it. You know, Peterborough Petes were here 2 years ago at the Memorial Cup. They went to last place last year. They sold Steve Downey, who everybody knows. They're in the second year of their rebuilding process. You know, you look at the other teams that were here at the Memorial Cup. Quebec, you know, won the Cup. Their second year of a rebuilding process. They're not banging on the door yet. And if you look at the history of junior hockey, unless you draft tremendously well and you don't try and make a couple deadline deals, you pay a price. And we did. We wanted to win a national championship. We came close, and we're short draft picks for 3 years, and you see it. Payback is a bitch, like they said in Spokane. You know, we played the Spokane Chiefs when I was in Major Junior, and they had 15, 19-year-olds. I think they went 94-4. They went to the Memorial Cup and demolished everybody. They beat our team in the Sioux 8-2, and we could have played them 10 times. We wouldn't have beat them once. But they went to the last place for 4 straight years because they loaded their team up. So we're rebuilding after running for a national championship. And when we came in here 2 years ago, Teddy and I and Danny Lacroix, the mandate was to build a national championship team and empty the cupboards was the mandate, and make sure our team was nationally competitive. And you can't have your cake and eat it too. So we had to trade Brad Marchand, who'd be a pretty good player here right now. We had to trade Jean-Philippe Chabot, who's the captain in Gatineau. We had to let Bodnerchuk go because of the protected list thing, to protect Demers, to trade him to Victo to get Torchman. You know, the list goes on and on. Those are 19-year-olds that would be the heart and soul of our team. But if you wanted Torchman, if you wanted Bourdon, if you wanted Philippe Dupuis, you pay a price. The other teams aren't stupid. So we had to pay the price. They loaded it up in Rimouski to go for it 2 years ago and went to the Cup with Crosby and company. And they're rebuilding under the ashes, and they're building it up for next year or two. And that's a cycle of junior hockey. And you either accept it for what it is or you walk around unhappy. But we got to rebuild our team and play lots of young guys and build through the draft. And that doesn't mean the kids aren't playing their hearts out. Doesn't mean the coaching staff isn't working 20 hours every day. But there's a lot of good coaches, a lot of good teams out there. There's no simple solutions. You got to bite the bullet and grind it out. But it was nice for our kids to get a win, and for our young kids, they're happy.
Indeed. One of the things that was, thank you, and that's a very good overview of the entire situation. One of the things that I thought was especially interesting tonight was that you put LaBelle and Lassard back together again, and judging from what we saw in the broadcast booth, I thought they started to click as the game went on.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for Marc-Andre LaBelle. He was a third or fourth line center last year, an offensive guy. Phil Mangan is our captain. We see him ahead of him. Randy Cameron is an NHL pick, and we see him ahead of him. Zach Sill is a good character third line center. You can see how valuable he is. We see him ahead of him. And then we've got Matt Brown, a 16-year-old first rounder that needs ice time. We've got Devin McCausland, a 16-year-old left winger / who'd rather play center that needs ice time. We got Ted Stevens, who's a tremendous young prospect from the Yukon that once he's gone through so much to get here. Once he gets his feet under his belt, he's 6'2", 180 pounds, and by Christmas next year, you're going to see what we like about him. We got 7 centers, and Matt Eagles is a natural centerman. He wants to play center. So I'd love to play all those guys all the time, but there's only 4 spots at center, so everybody's had to be patient. Nobody likes doing what we're doing. It's the nature of the business. Most teams in this league have 15 forwards. They rotate guys in and out, as we do. You know, we'd like to play them all. Marc-Andre LaBelle's a great kid, one of the nicest kids in that room, and he's trying real hard. We have 7 or 8 centermen. We can only play 4. Ted Stevens has played 5 games so far. In 5 games he's played, he's been pretty darn good. He's got a lot of potential. Got NHL teams waiting, phoning me up saying, why isn't he playing? So it's we got a lot of guys. The Quebec League is at a distinct disadvantage. The OHL in the West, it's open trading till January 15th. Here you can't make a move till December 15th. There's a freeze on trades except for Euros and overages. So we would perhaps like to add an experienced defenseman and have a surplus of forwards. In the OHL or the West, you can make something happen. Here, because of the CEGEP rules and the priority of the French kids in school, your team is your team. And you play the cards you're dealt. So we got to try and make the 15 forwards work, and we got to try and make the 6 first-year Ds and the 2 second-year Ds work, and that's a fact of life.
You know, I don't know if you've lost any hair in the last month or not, but I could understand if you had. But on a lighter note, because we all know how difficult it is, one of the redeeming factors is that you now have 2 goaltenders who are pushing for points, and at last count, Riopel leads Leving by 1 point.
And we'll put them on the power play.
I knew we'd get a laugh out of it tonight, no question about it.